Hello, everyone. My name is Robert Ogie. I'm the pastor of Cutler Bay Worship Center right here in beautiful Cutler Bay, Florida. And this is chapter 19 on June 19th of the book of Proverbs. If you ever wonder why I look that way when I say beautiful Cutler Bay, it's because I'm by a window. And I just happen to always look outside when I say right here in beautiful Cutler Bay. So there it is. We're going to be starting chapter 19 in verse 1. There's a couple really good verses in here. I mean, there's lots of good verses in here. I think 29 of them. But there's a couple that have stuck out to me as I was reading it today. But let's start in verse 1, okay? Better to be poor and honest than to be dishonest and a fool. Enthusiasm without knowledge is no good. Haste makes mistakes. You ever done something too fast? I have. Haste makes mistakes. It's true. There's this saying, if you're doing woodworking, measure twice, cut once. I have measured once and cut many times, and haste makes mistakes. I now measure at least twice when I'm doing stuff. Verse 3, people ruin their lives by their own foolishness, and they are angry at the Lord. You ever met that person? I think we probably all either had that friend or maybe been that person, right? Where we do something silly, something a little stupid, and we reap the consequences of our foolishness, and then we're angry at someone else. Maybe we're angry at the Lord. Maybe we're angry at our friends or whoever's around us because we don't want to own our own foolishness. I've been there before. I don't know about you. Verse 4, wealth makes many friends, in quotations, and poverty drives them all away. A false witness will not go unpunished, nor will a liar escape. Many seek favors from a ruler. Everyone is the friend of a person who gives gifts. Now, this is one of those things, again, where he's warning you at the same time as saying something that is very, could be a good thing, but there's also a warning in it, right? Many seek favors from a ruler. Now, if you're a ruler or you're a leader, you're going to have people seeking favors from you. If you're in a position of authority, there are going to be people that are going to be seeking favors from you. So this is a bit of a warning there. Everyone is the friend of a person who gives gifts. Again, there's a bit of a warning in that. Number one, be careful of who's giving you gifts. Why are they giving you gifts? Is there motive here? Is this a bribe or is this just a gift? Okay. Verse 7, the relatives of the poor despise them. How much more will their friends avoid them? Though the poor plead with them, their friends are gone. To acquire wisdom is to love yourself. I like that. To acquire wisdom is to love yourself. People who cherish understanding will prosper. A false witness will not go unpunished, and a liar will be destroyed. It isn't right for a fool to live in luxury or for a slave to rule over princes. Sensible people control their temper. They earn respect by overlooking wrongs. That's an interesting verse. There's another verse in one of the other Proverbs that says basically love covers wrongdoing. Love covers wrongdoing. So they earn the respect. Sensible people earn respect by overlooking people's wrongs. It doesn't really do us any favor to be pointing out people's wrongs, right? There's this saying, it's easy to find the dirt in people because it's very visible. Be the one that searches and digs for the gold that's in a person. Verse 12, the king's anger is like a lion's roar, but his favor is like dew on the grass. A foolish child is a calamity to a father. A quarrelsome wife is as annoying as constant dripping. Now, thankfully, I don't have a quarrelsome wife. I have a very wonderful wife. But what I did have, thankfully, that is now fixed because our roof has been replaced, we had constant dripping. I would wake up in the middle of the night and have constant dripping. We had 4 buckets in our bedroom at one point just a couple weeks ago. We've just recently had our roof fixed and repaired and replaced, and it's wonderful when it starts raining outside and I don't have to worry about it. But I know what that is like, and so I am very thankful that I do not have a quarrelsome wife because constant dripping is terrible. Verse 14, fathers can give their sons an inheritance of houses and wealth, but only the Lord can give an understanding wife. Thank you, Jesus. Lazy people sleep soundly, but idleness leaves them hungry. Verse 16, keep the commandments and keep your life. Despising them leads to death. If you help the poor, you are lending to the Lord, and he will repay you. Again, we've seen this a couple times before now in the Proverbs, right? How we treat those in need, how we treat those that need help. It's like treating God in that way. And Jesus said that very plainly. He said to his disciples, when you did this to the least of these, you were doing it to me, right? So very, evident in the Proverbs how God feels about when we help the poor. Verse 18, discipline your child while there is hope. Otherwise, you will ruin their lives. Hot-tempered people must pay the penalty. If you rescue them once, you will have to do it again. We've probably all had that friend, or maybe even been that friend, that we don't recognize our own behavior, and people have to rescue us, and then they end up having to do it again because we still haven't learned our lesson. Get all the advice and instruction you can. This is the solution right here to that previous problem. This is it right here. Get all the advice and instruction you can so you will be wise the rest of your life. Now, you can make plans, you can make many plans, but the Lord's purpose will prevail. Now, I find this so great. In Proverbs chapter 3, verse 6, it says, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he'll make your path straight. There's another place in the Proverbs that says, commit your plans to the Lord. And then, multiple times since, there's been something said to this effect. You can make plans, or a man plans his way, or a person plans their way, but the Lord orders their steps, but the Lord's purpose will prevail, right? There's this real attitude of are you aligning yourself with God's purposes, or are you just going to try and figure it out yourself? Been there, done that. Verse 22, loyalty makes a person attractive. It is better to be poor than dishonest. Fear of the Lord leads to life and bringing security and protection from harm. Lazy people take food in their hand, but don't even lift it to your mouth. Now, I have been incredibly lazy before in my life, but I have never been so lazy that I was holding food in my hand and did not bring it up to my mouth because I was like, that's a little far. Never been Proverbs 19, verse 24, lazy. All right, verse 25, if you punish a mocker, the simple-minded will learn a lesson. If you correct the wise, they will be all the wiser. Children who mistreat their father or chase away their mother are an embarrassment and a public disgrace. If you stop listening to instruction, my child, you will turn your back on knowledge. A corrupt witness makes a mockery of justice. The mouth of the wicked gulps down evil. Punishment is made for mockers, and the backs of fools are made to be beaten. A lot of good stuff in there. Really good things, and again, some themes that we're seeing multiple times within the Proverbs. And why is that? Well, we all know that it takes multiple times of hearing something to actually get it into our brains, right? It's like you might read these and think yeah, we've heard that already. Yeah, we have, but how do we learn? We learn by repetition. So the Proverbs are written in a way that we're getting a lot of that same information, maybe said a little differently, maybe with a little bit of a different twist on it, but it's always coming around to these same types of themes, right? Work hard, be honest, fear the Lord, live in awe of the Lord, don't be lazy, don't be a fool, seek after wisdom, seek after understanding, commit your way to the Lord, don't be corrupt, be honest, right? Be honorable, be humble. All these types of things that are just really good, they keep coming up over and over and over again. Why? Because we need to hear it over and over and over again. It's just how we are as humans. All right. Hope you have a great night. It's Friday night. Hope you have a good weekend this weekend. I'll try and come on tomorrow and do chapter 20 of the book of Proverbs. So we'll see you tomorrow.